Here with Lello Planners. As you can see, we're at the beautiful Elite Tent and Party Rentals. Thank you so much for letting us use your space. I'm also here with Nicole Troncone of NT Designs. She has graciously stepped in with less than 24 hours notice. So she's a little nervous right now, and I'm just trying to make her comfortable. And who could do this in less than 24 hours? Only one fabulous lady. So as you can see, she's a floral designer. She also designs tablescapes that will really, make your heart pump, because this is beautiful. And I think anybody sitting at this table would be incredibly impressed.
Thank you.
So we'd love to get to know a little bit about you.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is very exciting, and the viewers. So, a little bit about me. My family had a flower shop growing up.
On Long Island?
Yes, Long Island's in East Meadow. And they did more retail, and then they had for 30 years, and then they sold it. And then my one uncle moved the flower shop on his own to Locust Valley. And then I took some time doing other jobs. I went away a little bit from the flower business, but I always enjoyed it. And then eventually it just came to a point where I'm just like, I want to get back into it. So that's what I did, and here we are.
It's always funny how you circle back in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you mentioned that your family owned a flower shop for 30 years. What's the earliest floral arrangement type of thing you remember seeing? I can't imagine what a 90s or early 2000s floral arrangement was.
Yes.
What did they look like?
FTD, Teleflora, you name it.
Big?
Smaller, your roses and your mums and your lilies, that traditional design, and that was a clientele,
It's
and,
true.
And it was a great flower shop in that time, and they sold it a good time as well, because it was a lot of work. So, but I wanted to go into more of the events and the weddings and stuff like that, and they were more for the customers and that kind of the retail end. So.
Absolutely. What I remember from looking back at weddings from that time are the cakes, the bridge cakes are they called, where there's literally towers of them and held up by poles.
Yeah, I know.
And
old school.
I think Meghan Markle brought back the new bridge cake though, with the different tiered cake.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll be seeing that.
No, it's interesting, looking back and seeing the work that they did, and then seeing what I do. It's fun.
Yeah.
Just to see everyone's design. But yeah.
Absolutely. So now getting into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. What keeps you motivated in this industry? I mean, you've been in it a long time. Your family comes from it. Do they have any tips?
Honestly, it's so different from what they used to do, and even doing boutonnieres, I like to do certain satin ribbon around it, and my uncle used to, he likes to do the green tape, so he was helping me on a big wedding, and he's like, why are you doing this? He's like, this takes so long, and I'm like, no, we're not doing the tape, it's prettier this way, and so it's just it's fun, the designing now. And what keeps me motivated, going back to your question, is just the different designs, and being creative. And when I have a bride that comes to me with this design in her mind, and being able to execute it, that is what keeps me motivated, and it's fun.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So talking about a bride coming to you with inspiration already, we have to touch upon Pinterest.
Yes, Pinterest Central.
So sometimes my clients, they come with a Pinterest board that is 25 images, and that's a nice number, but sometimes 25,000 images, and we have to tell them to cut back, or even put down the Pinterest board. Is that words of advice that you use as well?
Yes, I mean, I definitely, when the Pinterest boards goes in all different directions, that becomes confusing for me too. So I definitely look at their boards, and then I'll have a conversation with them and see what do they like from each picture, and let's put it together and eliminate things that maybe you don't like, that you do like, and let's form one solid design. So I do welcome it, but then at the same time I do like to cut down from it as well, so that way it gets overwhelming.
I agree.
So.
And something that I always like try and give to my brides or explain to them is that you're hiring an artist when you hire a florist, and someone who's very creative. So you like their style. Clearly you have a style, and if you check out her Instagram page, like very organic, colorful, you know, really cohesive. So you're going to someone who really fits what you're looking for, and let them, you know, have a little bit artistic, you know, capability, instead of just being like, I want this for my Pinterest board. Like, I think it'll tailor your wedding or your event and really make it personalized.
Right. No, I definitely, and each bride I like to personalize where they were going with it as well, and then taking some ideas that I have, and you know, we're a team at the end of the day, so just putting the bride's ideas, my ideas, and again, like creating a solid finished product.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
What's an ideal time for a client to come to you in the planning process? Let's talk about brides now, or grooms. You know, some brides, like a lot of times when I'm hired to handle like expectations of when things are to be complete. So I tend to book a florist appointment 9 months out. Just, I think that's like enough time where the Pinterest board has been cleared a little bit, their design is a little more focused, and they really know what they're looking for. Would you agree that that's a good time?
Yes, I do agree, and especially obviously the venue is, you know, key. That's number one. I feel like they find that, and then because obviously then the season is going, they're going to know what season they're going to get married in, and that plays for me as far as what flowers are going to be in season. For example, this tablescape is actually going to be in the end of the summer. So, you know, I'm going to use different flowers as opposed to what I was able to use now. And I spoke to the bride about that, and she knew going into this that I'm not going to, you know, be able to use certain flowers that we're going to do for the wedding. But yeah, I would say the venue for sure, because then we can tailor it to the season and what flowers are going to be in.
Yeah, and if you guys like can zoom in, I don't know, can you do that on Insta stories? There's like actual real fruit on this table, so
yes. I am gonna look to probably cut the pomegranates, but they have to dry a little. That way,
yeah. So you don't want to like make the tablecloth.
So that might, I'm gonna look to do that. I might even look to do some like darker grapes too, just have like a little bit more of a different contrast to go with the chocolate candlesticks. I thought that might be really pretty. So this was a quick tablescape, but obviously I'm going to look to tailor it more that I've done this, but I think it was a good jumping off point.
Absolutely. And so your client came, you know, she signed the contract, put the deposit down, and she came to saw this. One thing that we were just chatting briefly before we started was we're clearly in a warehouse, I would say, but this is Elite Tent, and it's in their showroom. So, you know, you could pick out your chinaware here, your silverware, your flatware, everything you need, your napkins. It's really like a one-stop shop, which is also very helpful. Like, there's tons of accessories that we can add on, just making things simpler for clients, which I loved.
Yeah, no, you know, when I had a couple of brides, and when I was doing the wedding sample, I said, I'm like, would like to do it at Elite, because we're going to actually be renting the tables, so why not do it here where they can see everything and see the beautiful chargers, and you know, these glasses are going to be so pretty with this, so that way they can see everything. And even if they, for example, like one thing that wasn't on this table that they saw was the crystal wine glass, so we may even look to add that. But I just think it's a win-win for everyone. That way you can visualize different products and see how it may go with the tablescape, and I think it's great. I love doing it here. It's so perfect, so it's been great. So thank Elite for this opportunity to have it here.
Again, in the industry, like in most of life, it's all about who you know. So like Amanda and Scott were gracious enough to open their doors, like, again, less than 24 hours notice, so thank you.
They're terrific. I can't say enough about them as a rental company. Their
inventory is amazing. They really have everything.
The linens. I actually might even look to see, like, maybe do a runner too. That was another idea, you know. But
and all the rage right now is not like a tight runner. It's all about the loose runner.
Yeah. So exactly. And Amanda's great with the whole vision of that as well. So it's always a fun collaboration. But I may even look to like see how that plays in.
So a lot of these items, like when brides come to me, they say like, oh, I'll just run to Home Goods and maybe like, spruce up one or a couple of tables a bit. What stores do you go to like find inspiration? Like, I mean, you can't go to Home Goods when you're planning a wedding for 200 people. Like, you'll drive yourself nuts. But is there any, like, do you go to Michael's sometimes to like pick up like something cute you saw?
Sometimes I do, if it's really, like a last minute thing, and I may go to Michael's for sure, or even sometimes even Pier 1 if it's that last minute. I obviously deal with great vendors where I can get great supplies, even down to the candlesticks, which has been great, or all of these like pieces. I love it. So when it comes to that, I'll go more of your supply. But if it is a last minute thing and I'm trying to get a look together in less than 24 hours, then I may even go to your Michael's or your Pier 1, because there's great things there. So why not, if you're able to do it? And then if it's for the wedding, I'll look to go to my supply place and say, this is the piece that I've been running with. Do you have something similar? Can we order it? So yeah.
Nice. And so is this wedding going to be outside? I forgot.
This is going to be inside.
Okay.
The ceremony, will be a beautiful day. Will be outside.
If this were to be outside and people wanted these taper candles, like, do you have any tricks of the trade?
Well, depending on the wind, I do have really pretty glass cylinders that go into this. It definitely helps with the wind, but I like to have a backup plan. I always look at the wind, because sometimes you could have this pretty tablescape, but if it's windy, it just won't work.
The candles just blow out all the time, and
so I do look at the weather.
All right.
Yeah.
So you are a female business owner. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Are there any tips for someone starting out that you would,
honestly, I just
share?
think, like, I know it's so cliche, but just keep on believing in what you want to do. It's hard. Like, it is hard, but if you don't love what you do, I don't think you're gonna like succeed in general. So you have to love it, and you have to have passion for it. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because there's been times years ago where I steered away from it a little bit, thinking it is a lot of work, but then I came back to it because I love it. So I'm just diving full on in. Here we are. So
yeah, it's not an easy road, but it's definitely worth it in the end.
it is. I think you have to love what you do, and I found my passion in florals, and I'm just working
and I
hard
think
at
that
it.
reads like your clientele will become more aligned with what you're looking for, and it's all synergy and everything like that.
Yes, 100% agree.
So is there anything else you'd like to share?
Trying to think. Well, we have the holidays coming up.
Yes.
So prior to this, I was actually outside spray painting some greens.
I saw that on Instagram. They look beautiful.
Thank you. So I'm excited for that, because I have a few clients that trust me to do like out of the box fun designs.
Holiday windows, you were saying, right?
Yes, I have a holiday window, and it is Blush Boutique in Locust Valley, and it's pretty like girly stuff like this, some gold.
Okay,
so I got these really pretty white branches, and it's like that flocked, like snowy look. So I was thinking about that, and then to do a little fun out of the box, I have these greens that I sprayed like a light pink to like mix in, and then this tree fern, but in gold, to have that, and then having like a pretty like furry blanket going down, and then having her accessories. So obviously to showcase what her store is, and then to obviously showcase my design. So it's been fun. We've been doing that, and it's gonna be a fun month right now, doing stuff like that and getting everyone's holiday window and going.
Ready. I know, I feel like we're already late with the holidays. Like,
I know.
So you just jogged my memory. I do tablescapes and stuff like that as well. My problem has been like, I don't stop buying this stuff, and like, so then I just waste all my money. Not like, so my client like has all my money, which is like fabulous, but I don't have any money then when I do it, because I'm just like, this would be perfect. This would be perfect. So how do you stop yourself? Like, how do you have willpower to do that?
Well, it's funny. I was actually at Pier 1 recently, and I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, these beautiful like bohemian lanterns, perfect for like summer, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're so beautiful. But it's like, again, like, but I don't have anything for that at the moment. But I foresee like this beautiful tablescape in my head where I want to get it. But you're right. It's like, how do you draw the line? There's so many different visions out there and all these great things to get, but then you have to think about where you're going to store it.
I know.
You know, it's just like,
like, this is a major problem that I have.
Yeah, but I do. I have to actually tell myself to hold back. Think of things that you're going to be able to use for different weddings or events, and you know, we could tailor it but still use the same product. Like these are great. Like the candlesticks I've been able to use for all different kinds of table settings, and obviously clear glass. And so, but it's hard. I know.
One rule of thumb that I'm trying to practice is I like fill my cart with everything, and then I go around the store, and
then
if
take it away.
Yep,
that's what
I
I've
just
been
take
doing.
it out. And like if I can't be like, okay, I need this here, like you said, in a specific spot, then it's done. Because otherwise, like everything is just so beautiful, and I can see where like brides and clients, like it's so overwhelming, and you just want everything, and then like you get the bill, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's more like how to, you know, put yourself in check and be like, what do I really want? It'll still look beautiful, and I mean, I can't see anything missing from this, so you clearly did a good job.
Thank you.
And I just think that's a funny story because this is a story of my life.
Yep. Especially like when you go to Home Goods just for like one or two things for yourself, and then you look at that, I'm like, oh, how pretty is that?
I know.
But then you gotta like tailor it.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, this has been lovely. Check out nchuncone _designs on Instagram. And she has a newly launched website.
Yep.
And thank you for checking in with Behind the
Thank you.
Bouquet on
Thank you
episode
for having
3. Thank
me.
you so much. This was glorious. And thank you so much.
Bye.